Hi, I am basically representing Gotham Polymers here. Basically, we are into providing of components and solutions for the solar industry and its various applications. The way and a lot of things have been summarized in the kind of power requirements that telecom has today. So basically, we are looking at higher uptimes for the mobile towers because the tele density in rural areas is increasing. The growth is happening in BTS towers in those areas where the power is a shortage, and multiple operators are running on the same tower. So a power supply system which gives minimum downtime to the towers are most important. The existing power sources, as discussed, were DG sets, battery backups, and now which are coming into fray is the solar hybrid solutions and the solar standalone systems that are coming into picture. Each power source has its own issues, has its own problems, has its own challenges. DG sets, everybody, since all of us are in renewable energy here, we spoke as much ills as we could about DG sets, power, problem, CO2 emissions, etc., etc. Pilferages, thefts, DG sets life being limited due to usage of mixed fuel. What I would want to talk about are the challenges and limitations that we are facing in solar implementations when we do the off-grid solutions in the tower industry. And we need to recognize these challenges because it's very important for the success of the solar program in telecom towers or any renewable energy program in telecom tower that we are very clear about the issues and challenges that we need to face so that we can plan for them, we can take them into design, we can work on it, and we do not go ahead with false expectations. So I'm going to outline some of the challenges that we are facing at the ground level. The first and the foremost challenge is getting predictable output from solar. How do I ensure that my tower, that the solar energy or any renewable energy source that I'm going to put in is going to give the uptime and going to minimize the downtimes in tower to the bare minimum. It involves huge number of issues, cloudy days. If multiple operators are coming into picture, then how much of that is going to, how much each operator is going to use. So a simple solution that we have taken out is let's have a solar hybrid solution. So you still have the evils of DG sets on top of the solar solution, which go ahead as a solution. So we have solar plus DG set which is running for let's say 10% of the times that it was earlier doing, and it is supporting the mobile tower so that it minimizes the interruptions. On paper it looks good. What really happens is the guy on the ground level is used to getting incentives from or monetary benefits out of that DG set pilferage or theft that they are doing. They do not want to give any visibility on the percentage that they are actually getting from solar and the percentage that you're actually getting from DG set. So what really happens is instead of the DG set running 10% of the times, you might have problems or you might have things that the DG set is running at a similar amount of times as it was earlier doing. Because the person at the ground level is not incentivized to support the solar system. And we, as designers and planners, have not really, we are not really confident that that we will be able to give a tower uptime, and hence we couple it with the DG set, we do not take care of that solution itself. So first and foremost is how do we ensure that we get a predictable output from renewable energy source or any mixed source, and how do we get away or how do we remove the evils of the DG set from them. The second issue is the myth of zero maintenance in solar. Fill it, shut it, forget it. I think that's the only line that these guys used and forgot about it. But there is no such thing as zero maintenance in the entire world. I'll just give you an example. In Bihar, we had some off-grid installations. So this guy calls up after 6 months कि भाई आपका system खराब हो गया, please come and check it. So my guy, the service center guy goes, he checks the system, he says आपने solar panel का cleaning नहीं किया था, इस पर dust आ गया था. If you just clean it, it's fine. He said ये भी करना पड़ेगा, आपने तो कहा था zero maintenance है. Then after 1 year he calls up and he says the system is not working. Again the guys go, he says कि आपने बैटरी टॉप अप नहीं किया, पानी बदलना पड़ेगा. कहते ये भी करना पड़ेगा, हर बार करना पड़ेगा. आपने तो बताया नहीं था, कहा था जीरो मेंटेनेंस सिस्टम है. So these issues, the expectations that the people go ahead with when they design a system or when they design the entire service around the system has to be truly crafted so that the people at the service providers can have that kind of an ecosystem to support the maintenance charges. How they are definitely lesser than DG sets or any other mechanism by which you produce power. I'm not deselling solar here, but we need to understand the maintenance and management issues which come with it, and we need to take care of those. The third factor is human factors of theft. The entire modules can get stolen. And as I said, the person at the ground level who is managing the DG set, he is today more profitable if he manages the DG set. He is not in profit if a solar solution gets in. So the incentive for the solar system to fail is very, very high for him. The fourth is the moment of truth. If I give the entire, let's say I give 100% of uptime in cellular towers, and that's the ideal situation, and I do anything to get that done, does that actually turn into higher revenues for the mobile companies at the end of the day from the rural areas? The reason I'm asking it is because the guys still don't have power to charge their mobile phones. There are no power, apart from cellular towers, these guys do not have enough power to charge their mobile phones. To talk about it, the payphone booths, they're not working half of the times because of lack of power. So how do we ensure that we're looking at a holistic solution, starting with the cellular towers and going up to the end user who's actually using the solution? These are the challenges that we need to keep in mind, and certain solutions which I can share with you, which are of course on the go, and these are solutions in work, and as I talk about it, they're completely happening. The first problem about predictable output, one of the most different models that we're working here is, let's say I decide today that in my telecom sites that my tower needs 5 kilowatt of power. I give you, as a service provider, I design a 50 kilowatt system and I put it up on the cellular tower. But I ensure that the tower company does not pay for that 45 kilowatt extra power that I am doing. How do I ensure that? I am using the rest 45 kilowatts to power the nearby rural villages and supplying them power at whatever cost come out to be. Let's say in sunshine or cloudy days when the requirements go up to 10 watts, 15 watts, I prefer the cellular power first, and I recommend the village guys that this thing is going to happen, so you reduce your energy requirements. They're not getting it even which ways. And this kind of a business solution which combines both a community getting power plus a cellular tower getting those things by oversizing of that system and still not paying for that power could be evolved. Now, of course, these solutions will work in certain areas. These solutions of having a combination of giving power solutions to villages plus a tower will not work. So, when you are still coming with that evil of DG set, as I call it, you need to have a clear visibility in the percentage of time you're getting power from solar and the percentage of time you're getting power from DG set. And if you're not getting from solar, what is the analysis of not getting it from solar? Because you need to centrally manage it, proactively monitor it in seeing that why is the solar not working? Is it not happening because the ground level guy does not want it to happen? Or because you are not servicing it properly, or because of certain third thing which is happening and which you have not taken care of. So clear analytics has to happen, clear visibility, reporting has to happen, a service team whole structure has to be in place to get that done. And that is where we talk about a remote maintenance kind of an activity plus a field service center kind of a thing which takes up regular maintenance things like cleaning up of panels, battery charging, thefts, etc. It takes care of that kind of scenario on a regular proactive kind of a basis. You could have equipment that help you out like anti-theft module mounting structures which make it difficult for a person to steal, but our locks are for honest people, and plus you can have a lot of things which can work out in which you are actually reducing the human factors to a bare minimum. And you can actually garner a ground level support for solar energy if you have involved the community in it. If the community is benefiting out of it, if they are getting power out of that system, they will never want the system to be stolen. They will never want the system to be depending on any other polluting source of power. And the third point being about the last mile link. We can have standalone systems like lighting and mobile charging together, or community solar mobile charging stations which are there, like the ones that you see in airports which have got all the mobile charging pins, and that could be solarized, the pay booths being solarized, so that the last mile link, and the mobile companies could actually realize the benefit of a higher average revenue per user. At least you give them the necessary condition of the guy's mobile phone being charged, and then you can drill down a lot of other things. So my take here is, let's identify the challenges at a ground level. Let's